Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. Let's begin Unit 2. Unit 2, we're going to, or 2.1, we're going to look at explicit formulas for arithmetic sequences. All right, now, explicit formulas. Okay, in Unit 1, we talked about recursive formulas, recursive sequences. Now, what in the world is the difference? Okay, the explicit formula for a sequence defines the u sub n with an expression that does not involve the previous term. That means, ladies and gentlemen, we are not going to see that u sub n minus 1. Yay, all right? So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to define it in terms of n, where n is a non-negative integer, okay? So here we go. So here is an explicit formula. It almost looks like a formula or equation that we're used to, doesn't it? All right, so the top we're just going to fill in like we normally have been doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, and all we have to do, ladies and gentlemen, is plug the number in. So we want to know what is U1. Well, we plug in the 1. 2 times 1 plus 3. Okay, well, that would be 2 plus 3, which is 5. So the first number in the pattern is 5. The next number we want to plug in is the 2. Okay, so 2 times 2 plus 3, well, that would be 4 plus 3, and I believe that would be 7. So the second number is 7. Then I would plug in the 3. 2 times 3 plus 3. And let's see, that's 6 plus 3, that would be 9. All right, I'm starting to see a pattern here, folks, because remember, this is arithmetic. I'm going to do one more. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the 4 in. So u sub 4 equals 2 times 4 plus 3. And gee, I bet that is going to equal 11. Amazing. So once you see the pattern, everyone, you can just continue the pattern and not worry about plugging the numbers in. So I see that the pattern is going up too. Again, it's arithmetic, so I knew it was adding. So then this would be 13, this would be 15, and this would be 17. Okay? All right, let's look at another one. Sometimes they're not always going to be straightforward explicit formulas like this. Okay, I'm going to do one now that is actually not arithmetic. Okay, I'm going to do one that's not arithmetic. Here we go. So in this one, you see that it's n squared. Okay, well, let me switch to blue here. All right. So what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen, is we're squaring the numbers. Okay, so we're going to take 1 squared, 1. Okay, 2 squared, because that's the rule. 2 squared is 4. 3 squared, that's 9, and so on. 4 squared, 16. Okay, hopefully you know your squares really well. So I just wanted to show you that explicit formulas don't necessarily have to be the arithmetic that I showed you in the first example. Okay, but we're gonna stick with that arithmetic throughout the rest of the lesson. All right, so just be aware that they're not always arithmetic. Okay, so this next one, let's take a look at that one. So complete the table. So 0, let's switch to, let's go with red. All right, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so if you want, ladies and gentlemen, you can go ahead and then just use your calculator if you want. So we're going to take 4 times 0. Okay, and then it says what, minus 3? Okay, I think you should be able to do that one without a calculator, but here we go. 4 times 0 minus 3 is negative 3. Okay, and then we could do 4 times 1. Remember, you do have the power of pause and rewind, ladies and gentlemen, if I'm going too fast. Okay, there's 1. Okay, let's do another one, and then let's see if we can see the pattern. All right, so now I'm going to go 4 times 2. That's 5. The pattern is actually within the equation if you're watching very carefully. All right, so what is the pattern? This one is arithmetic. Okay, so it looks like it's going up 4. And again, if you look at the equation, maybe you can see it. All right, so that means this next one is going to be 9. And then I believe 13. And then I believe 17. And then I believe 21. Oh wait, 22. Nope, 21. Made myself doubt myself. All right. All right. Okay, now what's the 20th number? Okay, well, all we have to do is plug the 20 in. All right, 4 times 20 minus 3. So the 20th number in the sequence is 77. Okay, the 30th number in the sequence is 117. All right, pretty straightforward. Now, we're going to do a little algebra here. Okay, we're going to do a little solving equations. So, be careful with these. Okay, I guarantee you're going to have these on a test, and people tend to forget that this is like a going backwards. Okay, it's telling me that the UN is 53, ladies and gentlemen. So I take the 53 and I set it equal to the 4n minus 3. Whoops, hold on here. Little mistake there. I don't want a 3 there. 4n minus 3. Because I want to know what n is. Look, it's asking, well, what is n? All right. So, little algebra. We're going to add 3 to both sides, right? We're going to get 56. And then we're going to divide by 4. And so what do we get? Let's see. 56 divided by 4 is 14. So, 14 is our answer. So that's telling us the 14th number in the sequence is 53. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with this other one. We're going to take 66 and we're going to set it equal to 4n minus 3. Now, I have a strange feeling this one's going to be a decimal, but that's okay. All right, that's okay if we end up with a decimal. Let's see if we do. We're going to add 3. We get 69. Oh yeah, we're going to end up with a decimal because we're going to divide an odd by an even. But that's okay. Not a big deal because we're just interested in what is n. All right. And in this case, let's see, it's going to look a little weird, I think. So 69 divided by 4. And we're going to get, that's not too bad, 17.25. So that's kind of finding a number between a number, okay, because we ended up with a decimal. But that's okay that we ended up with a decimal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's keep going, because this isn't the only thing we're doing here, and I want to try to keep this lesson short. All right, so from our last problem, this is our explicit formula. Now, we're going to convert this into an equation of the line which you are very familiar with. Okay, you spent a whole year in intermediate algebra doing this. What we're going to do is we're going to replace the n with x, and we're going to replace the u sub n with y. Oh, okay. So I'm going to kind of jump down here. So the equation of the line is going to be here. So we can see it. So it's going to be y equals, so we're going to replace this with y. and we're going to replace that with x. So y equals 4x minus 3. Oh, that looks really familiar, doesn't it? Okay, y equals 4x minus 3. Now, the table, this would be your x value, and this would be your y value. So instead of this being an n and this being u sub n, it's now xy. Okay, and then the table would be the exact same table that we just looked at. All right, so this would be -3. I believe this was 1, and then this was 5, and then this was 9, 13, 17, 21. So the table is the same, it's just we have x on top and the y on the bottom. Now, if you recall, this equation is in, wait for it, slope, intercept, form. Y, let's see, I think I might have that underneath. Yeah, y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. So we're converting it from explicit to an equation that we're familiar with. And you know that this is the slope and this is the y-intercept. Again, if I'm going too fast, pause the video, rewind the video. Okay, you have control over all of that. And you remember slope is rise over run. So if I graph this, my y-intercept for this problem is the -3. The y-intercept is the -3. So that means I put a dot down here on the y-axis at -3. The slope is, in this problem, 4, which is 4 over 1. So that means up 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, over to the right 1. Up 4, right 1. Positive slopes, the line should be going up. All right. Now, I know you don't probably have a piece of graph paper in front of you, so as best you can, draw it freehand. If you have a ruler, try to use your ruler to help. And look, I couldn't even get the line straight using what I have. All right? Okay. I think I've got one more thing to look at. Now, I'm going to pull in some stuff that we've done in Unit 1. Okay, looking at this, oh, here's a recursive routine. All right, I remember what to do here. I see that the first number in the sequence, the number under the 1, is a 7. I know my table starts with 0, and there's a reason for that. We're going to get to it. But the first number in the sequence is a 7. The rule is telling me to go down by 2, to subtract 2. So subtracting 2, I now have 5. And then I have 3. And then I have 1. And then I have -1, and then I have -3. Now, you're going, well, Mr. Ellering, why is there a 0 underneath? Okay, this is why. Here we go. In order to write an explicit formula or an equation, we have to know what's under the 0. That's your y-intercept. So we've got to go backwards, which would be a 9. That, ladies and gentlemen, is your y-intercept. You have to know that in order to write your explicit formula and your equation. Okay, again, the number under the 0 is your y-intercept, always, always, for a linear equation, for this type of equation. So our explicit formula is u sub n equals, the pattern is down 2, so -2n plus 9. Rewatch that if you need to, if you didn't get where those numbers came from, because I am only doing one example of this. So my equation is y equals negative 2x, sorry about that, then I mess up, 2x plus 9. Now I can graph it. My y-intercept is 9. My slope is negative 2. Now that means down 2, but still to the right. Always go to the right unless you run out of room. Down to right 1. Down to right 1. Go through, again, you probably don't have a graph, so just draw it the best you can on your piece of paper, doing it freehand. Okay, just do the best you can. All right. Okay, 2 things left and then we're done. Sorry, this is already over 15 minutes. If you need to take a break, and then finish watching it. But these are the last 2 things. So it tells me, it's asking me here, if x is 15, what is y? Okay, well, that's just plugging in the number. And so let's see, that would be negative 30 plus 9, and I believe that's going to be negative 21. Okay, on this last one, again, you have the power of pause and rewind if I'm going too fast. On this last one, it says y is 59. So I say 59 equals the negative 2x plus 9. All right, 2 steps to solve. Subtract 9. Divide by negative 2. And I get negative 25. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is what lesson 2.1 is about. 2.2, we'll be doing some stuff with geometric, I believe. All right, good luck. We'll see you.